An RPG is a collaborative game, and in any collaboration, you need trust. Um, in RPGs, um, the trust is between the players and the GM. The GM has the most power and so has the most potential to abuse this trust. And for me, perhaps the easiest trick or the easiest trap to fall into as a GM and abuse the sort of intrinsic trust between players and GM is to start plotting what the players will do. The characters belong to the players. They don't have much power over the game. You get to choose the actions and reactions and choices of every single other inhabitant of the world. The PCs should be left to the players, and you should not start choosing a story that you want the players to live and experience. That's the player's prerogative. Without a doubt, your NPCs should be plotting what they want the players, the PCs, to do, if they're aware of them. They may have objectives. They may want to destroy the PCs as a very simple, boring one, but they may want to recruit them. They may want them to work for them. They may want to disgrace them. They may want to cause them to fall. They may want to change their character. But you should remember, any of these plots is actually the plot of an NPC, not of the GM. Because if you start because you're abusing your power as a GM if you start deciding what the players should do. There is a thin line, though. As a thinking being, you'll without doubt notice and be able to predict to a certain extent what they might do, and so start planning potential lines and plots along those lines. But you should never predict. You should never decide what they'll do. This is a kind of indirect response to DBJ's video. He did one a while back about, I think it was 6 things he could never, that PCs or the players never do. And they were things like solo combat, self-sacrifice, having a redemption or a character change story, things that he could never get players to do. The solution is become a player. Players have this authority. They can create these stories. A GM shouldn't try to create these stories. You can enable them, but they aren't your authority. If that's the kind of story you want, become a player. Similarly, Peter Sotos in the Brigade recently wrote a brilliant backstory, but it was he was writing it as a GM for his players. I really believe quite strongly that this is the player's prerogative. The GM can create points for players to include in their backstory, so they interact or have a relationship with NPCs in the world, organizations, etc., to get them more deeply rooted in the world. But they shouldn't dictate backstories. The story created by a character should definitely be created by the players. Anyway, my name's Caius. I love role-playing games, and I hope to see you in one in the future.